No one wants to lose mobility, strength, or independence as they get older. And the good news is, with a few carefully selected exercises, you can future-proof your body for many years to come. In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 exercises that prevent and reverse some of the most common aging changes. Now, you could do all of these exercises in one go, but I would recommend doing one of them on each day from Monday to Friday, doing 3 sets each time. It'll only take 5 or 10 minutes. Let's have a look at the exercises now. So let's have a look now at the 5 best exercises to keep you strong, mobile, and independent. Before I show you them, I just need to make you aware these are not going to be suitable for everyone. Please avoid any of the ones that cause you pain. This first exercise is called the wall W lift. And this exercise is amazing for improving mobility in your shoulders and your upper back and keeping your neck healthy as well. All you need is a wall and a towel like this. What I've got here is a towel that I've rolled up into a sausage. I'm going to put that on the wall like this and trap it with my back. And I want that towel to be running right up the length of my spine. You can move it to kind of the upper part of your spine and then lean back against the wall. This is your nice, comfortable starting position. What we're going to do next is take your arms out like this so that they're in a W shape. So you've got the line of the W here, up to your head, and then back up the other side. Now maintain this upright posture and go from this position up to a Y. So we end in a Y and then we drop back down into a W. Now what the most important part really of this is to keep your chin tucked in and keep everything still apart from your arms and your shoulder blades. And what we should feel here when we've got the arms down is the shoulder blades are pinching the towel, and then when we're up like this, the shoulder blades have swung out to allow you to lift your arm, which is the natural movement. So we're going to just alternate between this position here and this position here. Now, as you get better at this, you can lose the towel. This is the progression, and you want to pin everything against the wall and then slide up, and you'll find this is tougher, especially on the shoulders without the towel there. But begin with the towel, especially if you've already got a little bit of a kyphosis. You can often correct that, by the way, with exercises like this. And just because you've got issues like a kyphosis now doesn't mean it always has to be like that. And that's what this channel is all about. Is about helping you undo the kinds of problems that people have just told you are due to your age. So I'd recommend doing 10 repetitions of that exercise, maybe 3 times per day if you're interested in improving your mobility and your posture. Let's move on to the next exercise now. The next exercise we're going to do is another brilliant one for improving your posture and your upper body mobility. So I call this the Thoracic Mobilization, and I've got 2 variations to show you. One of them's easier, the other one's a little bit more advanced. So the setup for this is you're going to take a dining room chair, tuck it up against the wall like this with the backrest facing you, and something on the floor to allow you to kneel. So I'm going to use a towel on my hard wooden floor. So what we're going to do here is turn around so that you're kneeling on 2 knees facing the chair, and all we're going to do is put your elbows on the back of the chair like this. Now what we're going to do is just take a couple of little walks away from the chair like this, keep your tail tucked in, and then drop down towards the floor. So it's a very small movement. Let me show you again. So you're going to keep your elbows still, keep your back tucked in like this, or your tailbone tucked in, and then drop down, almost becoming a U shape, dropping your chest towards the floor. And what you should feel here is a bit of a mobilization happening right here in the middle of the spine. And for most people, myself included, who sit a lot, that area is very, very stiff, and this can be a brilliant way to improve it. So it's a very gentle movement. So again, I'll show you here. So we're just going to keep the tail tucked in, drop in between like this, and you can either bounce in and out nice and gently, keeping that control all the way through, or you can drop in and stay there, just keeping that stretch on, whichever you prefer. Now, the second variation of this is a bit more advanced. You're going to stay in exactly the same position, put both elbows on the chair like this, and this time we're going to drop right between the elbows, allowing our elbows to pass our heads. So if we go like this, what we're finding here now is your elbow's gone past your ears, and we're now stretching this muscle here called the latissimus dorsi, which is a muscle that hardly ever gets stretched because our arms spend so much time down by our sides. But if you're pushing your arm up over your head, if you've got the mobility to do that, you can stretch your lats, and that can relieve a lot of shoulder pain and shoulder problems as well. Only do that one if it feels safe. The other one should feel really nice if you've got a stiff upper spine. Ease yourself into it gently. And I would do about 10 repetitions of the mobilization or hold for 30 seconds, couple of times a day. And you can do that about 3 times a week for best results. By the way, if you want more routines like this to help you improve your health, your mobility, and your independence, I've got tons more like it in my lifelong mobility program. It's a step-by-step program to help you improve all the aspects of your health, to help you live longer, be healthier, and stay mobile and independent for life. You can find details of it in the description box below. The next exercise to keep you strong, mobile, and independent for life is the heel raise on a step. And I love this exercise for people over 50 because calf strength is so important for walking. In fact, 70% of your forward propulsion comes from your calves. So if they get weak over time, guess what? Your walking gets worse as well. And I don't want that to happen to you. This is the exercise to fix it. So we just need your bottom step, and I'm going to show you a couple of variations of this, so find yourself in the one that you find challenging but doable. You're going to stand on your bottom step like this, holding on to something because this is not a balance exercise, and you're going to put just the front half of your feet on the step, let the heels hang down off the edge. Once we're in this position, all you're going to do is go up onto tiptoes and then slowly let yourself back down. And we want to go down far enough so that we feel a stretch in your calves, which are the muscles at the back of your lower leg. And then up again, and then back down. And this is the kind of tempo we want for all of these variations. We want to go up to the count of 2, hold for 1, and then down to the count of 3 or 4. So you're always slower on the way back down. Now, if that's very easy for you, there's a few different things you can do. Number one is you can wear a rucksack with some weights in it or some books just to add some resistance because it adds to your body weight. Another thing you could do is go up on 2, take 1 away and just come down on 1. That means that you're getting much harder workout on this one side. Obviously you would do 10 on one leg and then swap sides and do the other. And if you're very advanced and you want something really tough, you can just do the calf raises on one leg up and down. But this is pretty tough. If you're doing this, you're already way ahead of the curve. So find yourself in one of those variations. You want to keep working until the point of fatigue. Keep going until you feel this muscle getting quite achy. Then you stop, have a 1 minute's rest, repeat 3 times over, and do that 3 times a week for best results. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, the best thing you can do is hit the subscribe button, which is just underneath the video. It's totally free, but it just means you'll be the first to hear about our new videos when they come out, and it helps the channel to grow. So thank you very much if you take a second to do that. The next exercise to help keep you strong, mobile, and independent for life is the farmer's carry. And this is one of my favorite exercises for people over 50 because it builds full body strength, it will improve your physique, and it also improves your bone mineral density, which is super important for people of your age. So this exercise is very simple. I'm going to show you it with dumbbells. You can actually use things lying around the house if you don't have dumbbells. I've seen people use watering cans in their garden to great effect. So you're going to get 2 reasonably heavy weights, bend down and pick them up in each hand like this. You're going to stand up nice and tall, and all we're going to do is walk. And you want to focus on that heel to toe walking pattern. You can go reasonably slow during your walk, but what we're trying to do really is just build up something called time under tension, which is the amount of time we spend with the weights in our hands. And I would reckon that about 30 seconds of walking before you put the weights down is about right. Then you put the weights down, have a rest, maybe a minute's rest would be good, and repeat 2 or 3 times. Now, if you can do 30 seconds easily, find something a bit heavier. The goal here is to build up your strength. So if you're just holding very light dumbbells, this isn't going to work. We actually need to be holding something that triggers a change in the body. We want to get stronger, either in the quads, glutes, or the spine, or we want to boost bone density, and both of those things require a proper stimulus. So hopefully you can find something lying around that's heavy enough. You don't need to do this every day. About 2 or 3 times per week would be amazing. Let's move on to the next exercise. The final exercise we're going to do is one of the best of all time for improving strength and independence for people over 50. And I'm going to show you a couple of different variations for you to find yourself in. The first variation is the sit to stand. And it's such a great exercise because we do this movement all day, every day. You probably end up doing this about 20 times a day. If you're not strong in it, guess what? You're going to struggle later in life. And I don't want that to be the case for you. This is why this is such an important move. So what we're going to do here is put your feet on the floor, sitting on a chair right on the edge. You want your feet just tucked slightly underneath your knees like this. You're going to sit up tall, hands out the way, because using hands is cheating. You're going to keep your spine straight, hinge forward at the hips, nose over toes, and stand up, and then put the movement back into reverse. So stick your bottom out, bend your knees, keep your spine nice and straight, and then find the chair very slowly. And as we come down to the chair, we want to take 4 seconds to go back down. And when we reach that chair, it shouldn't creak, it shouldn't groan, we shouldn't drop into it. It should be controlled all the way through. So let me show you again. Hands out the way, nose over toes and up, and then down, nose over toes again. Stick your bottom out, bend your knees nice and slow. And we want that silent contact with the chair. Simple as that. Now, if that was very easy for you, the next stage would be to do the same movement, but this time on the way back down. When you touch the chair, you're not going to weight bear on it. You're just going to touch it and come straight back up. So we're not taking the tension off your legs at all. We're coming all the way down slow, using the chair just as feedback for your bottom to tell you to go straight back up again. Nice and easy. Now, if you want to make that harder, the next thing we need to do is add some resistance. So a dumbbell works really well, but if you don't have one of these, fill up a bag with some books and hold it into your chest like this. So take your dumbbell or your weights, hold it to your chest like this, and then we can repeat nose over toes and up, and then nice and slow on the way back down. So we're turning this now into a goblet squat, and you can either touch and come back up, or if you're finding this really difficult, you can go all the way down, take a seat for a second, and then go back up like that. Whichever way works best for you. Obviously, just the touch and lift is harder, so that's what you would progress to if you can. And I would recommend doing somewhere between 6 and 15 of these in a row. Do at least 3 sets whenever you do it. And if you can do this 3 times a week, again, you're going to be on an absolute winner, and it's going to give you a great chance of staying strong, mobile, and independent for life. I've got another video on my channel right now, which you can see on the screen, that will help you to improve your independence and mobility even further. So click on that if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. Do drop a comment below if you've enjoyed, and I'll see you again on the next one.